Hey, this is Steve Domenico from The Room Podcast here with Killa Mitch Raposo, 4-0, flyweight now, man, fighting April 4th at Cage Titans 48 for his 5th appearance as a professional fighter, looking for that 5th win. Bro, what's going on, man? You didn't fight too long ago. You had, one of your toughest fights, went through a decision. Now we're back here, about 3 months later. You ready to get back in there? How's it feel to get busy again?
Good, man. I like to stay busy. You know what I mean? Last time was a tough night for me. Like, it was a good fight. Like, it was dominant, but I wasn't happy. It was like a good learning experience, so I'm kind of been itching to fight. You know what I mean? I'm ready to go. Bombs away, man. I can't wait.
Well, you talked about that fight afterwards. You seemed down on yourself, and you talked about in the interview, well, if I look back at that fight, maybe I'll think a little different of that. Looking back at that fight, you were really tough on yourself. What are you thinking about it now, your performance in there, and have you gotten over that, and what are you thinking about that whole thing?
Man, it is what it is. It's a learning experience. You know what I mean? This is what I'm doing this for. I'm 21. I'm not going to have everything down. You know what I mean? Then one day it's just going to click for me, and it's going to be, like I always say, man, fight me now. It's going to get worse. I get better every single time, and it's experience. It was a good experience for me. If I could do that again, I would make it out of the first round. It was like I felt so good in there, but I was kind of frozen. I let the moment get to me a little bit with just moving up a weight class and going through 4 names. I was just deflated, man. You know what I mean? But it was good to learn from that, like young.
Well, here we are, Cage Titans 48, we're back in there. We're dropping down to flyweight. Let's talk about that. What was this decision here? Is it because now the UFC is kind of high on the flyweights again? What was the decision here?
Kind of because, Cejudo vacated it, and they still stood to, do another champion, so I was like, oh, all right. So it's pretty clear that it's staying. They've signed 4 guys in the last 2 months. You know what I mean? So it's pretty clear. So I'm like, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it now. I'm young, man, so I can make the weight. So I'm gonna do it. And it's kind of I'm looking at it as my express lane to the UFC. I think 35 is eventually probably where I'll be when I'm fully grown. You know what I mean? But I'm still young, so I just think there's a lot of talent there. So at 25 is kind of the little express lane. I'm become world champ. Move up to 35, that's the plan. But so, and it's even today, Benavidez and Figueroa are going to fight again. It's there's a lot of news about flyweights now. I feel safe going back down to 25, and I know I need to do it now because I'm young. I got to take advantage of this opportunity, and that's it. When it's time to move up, I'll move up.
Well, you're no stranger to getting to that weight, fighting for titles at that that 125-pound weight, having 2 of them as an amateur. What's the difference now? I know you were getting to 135, you're doing strength and conditioning, you were adding muscle and weight to yourself on a frame that can be added there. You're still young as you speak now. What's the difference? How'd you change training to gear back down to get back down to that flyweight?
I'm dieting pretty hard. I eat really, really clean now, and I'm running a lot more. Maybe my lifting's a little bit different. But the thing is, I put on size, So, but I could still make the weight. It's manageable. I'm gonna feel good. I'm young. I can do it. But I put on size, so I just think at 25 now, I'm fucking dangerous, man. I got the kind of I took that time to mature. Everything happens for a reason. So maybe that me going down to 35 and making myself mature, and I feel like I've kind of come into my own, especially in the cage. So I think now going back to 25, I'm taking a lot of stuff that. I have some big advantages at 25. I'm just as fast or faster than everybody at 25, and now I'm a lot bigger than most of them, and I'm packing a lot more power.
Awesome. Well, there's no secret that you've battled to get to your last fight with opponents dropping out. I came here to interview you about a big opponent coming in. Probably your biggest task here of 5-1 fighter here coming in. But now, I hear you got another opponent because he dropped off, afraid of, fighting a bigger guy because you're going to be dropping down and you're going to have that size advantage on the other guy. So now I just hear you have Alexander Castillos here, Brazilian, I think. I'm not sure. What do you know about this guy? Because you basically just got this opponent, less than 24 hours ago. So what's going on with this guy?
It's a solid fight for me. I think he's 3-1 or 4-2. He's a solid kid. He's from Brazil. To me, it's just kind of we're around the same amount of fights. So I think it's important for me to go out there and do what I'm supposed to do to this kid. Go out there and smash him. I'm looking for a big knockout and kind of just separate myself from the pack. All right, he's ready for the next level. Give me somebody with more. I'm trying to fight the best guys. I had that kid 5-1. I was gonna finish that kid in the inside 2 rounds, and he was 5-1. It would have been a big win for me. But he doesn't want to fight. I'm a 25er, and we're fighting at 25, and I'm too big or something like that. I don't know. He's Just stupid. You know, I'm going through it now. I'm kind of used to it now. I could care less now. It's like I just focus on myself.
Focusing on yourself, you change up your game plan, anything here? I mean, you don't know much about this guy. Is it same old business, you know, keep up what's going on now, and, you know, when we meet in the cage, doesn't matter who you are, you know, my game's planned?
Yeah, I'm gonna, I mean, I'm gonna go out there and just put on a show. You know what I mean? It's kind of like live up to my ability. This kid's kind of the perfect fight for that, and I feel bad for him, man. It's gonna be, I mean, everything I'm throwing to bad intentions, and I'm looking to put this kid to sleep, you know what I mean, and kind of just establish myself. Like, I'm here, I'm ready to put myself, you know what I mean, in the fight and really take these guys out, you know what I mean, and stop holding back so much and just kind of go out there and have fun.
Well, fifth fight in, you know, a year's time here. Anything, you know, what's the difference between that first fight a year ago at Plymouth Memorial Hall and this fifth fight coming up, your fifth fight and possibly, you know, your biggest fight, and what can loft you into, you know, the higher eyes that you've been looking for?
I mean, it's kind of just, I'm not really taking the pressure off myself, you know what I mean? I'm 21, like, I could get into the UFC in 3 years at 24, and that's still super young. It's pretty crazy how, like, ahead of the game I am, and it's going to happen when it's the right time, but I'm taking it fight by fight. But I know that's where I'm going to be. There's no secret. Everybody knows that's where I'm going to be, you know what I mean? If it's this year, next year, I'm going to go out there and put this kid away and prove that I belong in the UFC, you know what I mean? Regardless of whoever you're in the way, I'm better than everybody, you know what I mean? That's just the way it is. I mean, I'm the best, and I'm going to go out there and I'm going to find a way to win. And me just getting more comfortable every single fight, it's just, it's going to click, man, and that's it. These guys, everybody's going down.
Excellent. Well, Cage Titans will be hyping up this card very soon. I'm glad we got the beans here with the new opponent here, but it doesn't matter, you know, You've been running through them no matter who they bring in, late notice, whatever. You know, this opponent could change, you know, 2 weeks from now, but, you know, I'm glad to see you back in there, keeping up the winning ways, back down the flyweight. So, last thing, Mitch, Killa Mitch, shout outs, thank yous, training partners, anything you want to say before I let you go and get back in there and, you know, cutting down to that 125 flyweight division.
You know, just huge thanks to my team. You know, Regiment Training Center, Infinite Fitness. You know, I mean, my new sponsor, Emperor One CBD. You know, I mean, especially with my recovery, and I mean, Top Game Manager. You know, I mean, Tyson just he's pushing me the right way, and he kind of settles me down. You know what I mean? I have a lot to learn in this game. I'm just excited, but I'm learning a lot being like under that kind of wing. You know, I mean, Tyson, Rob, Calvin. So, I mean, huge shout out to them, and go out there. You know what I mean? April 4th. You know what I mean? Cage Titans, Plymouth Memorial Hall. I'm looking for a big knockout. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a good night for me.
Excellent. Well, we're 4 weeks out from today, man. Glad to catch up with you. We'll be talking again. We'll call in. We'll do something because we'll find out how these last 4 weeks are going for you, brother. So, Killa Mitch Raposo here, 4-0, dropping to the flyweight division for his fifth fight for Cage Titans on April 4th for Cage Titans 48, Plymouth Memorial Hall. Check this kid out, man. He's everywhere. We are out of here.